Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Girls on the Move podcast. Um, I logged on a little bit early. My the guests of this week are going to be my mom, my brother, and my sister. I'll let them introduce themselves. But they are going to be talking about their marathon training and go into a little bit of depth about how their training has been going, what they have been doing for training, and what their goals are for the marathon itself, how they've been able to time manage everything because they work, they have kids, or one my brother does, my mom obviously does. Um, and such. So I'm excited to go into a little bit of depth with them about that. It's right up the alley of the podcast, with it being fitness involved. I'm super excited for them to come on here and kind of go over this with you. All right, we'll wait for them to join now. Okay, so I'm here with my runner part of the family. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I would love to.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Micah. I am Michaelan's older brother. I'm 25. I did some high school sports, a little bit of high school lifting. Um, I haven't done a lot of lifting since high school, so it's been about 5 or 6 years now. But I recently did pick lifting back up pretty regularly about a year ago, year and a half ago, and I've been fairly consistent. And then just recently, over the last half a year, I picked up running. Um, so I do a little bit of both right now.
Hybrid
Um,
athlete.
Yeah, hybrid.
all right, who's next on the introductions here?
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I am, are we telling our ages? I don't know. I'm Mackenzie and I am also Michaelan sister. I like that we're calling you Michaelan.
Yeah, I hate this.
And I started running in high school. I did a couple half marathons in high school, and then I enjoyed it. I liked playing soccer, but I liked playing the mid where I got to run a lot, so that was fun. And then I kind of took a pause for a while. I was like on and off. I did a couple half marathons after high school, and then just like 5K type things, and just recently got more into running, probably like fall of last year. Yeah.
So you've always been more running focused in your
Yeah,
like
I just haven't been as
exercise
like
lifestyle.
training weekly as
Mm-hmm.
dedicated. I'll go
Okay.
through like phases of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Mom.
Hi. I'm NK's mom, and I have been I've enjoyed running like since high school. I would just run around the neighborhood. I wasn't in any sports. Um, but my friend and her dad roped me into doing grandma's half marathon, the Gary Bjorklund half marathon in Duluth, and that kind of got me hooked. And I didn't do another half marathon till like after all you kids were born, but I would just
Did we lose mom?
I think we did.
K's and
Yeah.
you guys
Oh,
would ride your bike while I ran sometimes in the neighborhood training, and it's just been really fun for me now to like run with you guys. Like you guys
oh no.
Mom, we're pretty
because
losing you over here.
oh
How's
you can
how's your
Yeah, is there a spot? Is there a spot you can go that has better internet connection?
I
okay.
think if you go to the living room by the modem,
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's a good idea.
sorry.
That'll work.
Sorry.
No, it would come in super clear and then it would just freeze
I
for like
know.
five, ten
yeah.
seconds and then it would come
Yeah.
in
Now you
super
can see
clear
all
again.
her beautiful plants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Ooh
great
la
backdrop.
la.
Oh, look at this. This is nice.
Is this better?
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
so.
so far you haven't frozen. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did I
Okay.
freeze right?
Um,
Yeah, that was a great intro, Mom.
a little bit like, no, yeah. I think we mostly got it.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, I guess what made you guys like want to commit to running a marathon? Like, I mean, I guess especially you, Micah, who wasn't
Oh yeah.
a super runner like Ken's and
No,
mom
not
have
at
been.
all. No, I guess I don't know. It was probably stupid. It was so fun at the 5K. We all had so much fun. The energy of the race was great. And then we kind of just decided then, hey, let's do a half. And then we did the half and it was so much fun. The energy was great. And then here we are.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I bit off more than I can chew, but it's been fun so far.
No,
It's been good.
you've been training, you'll be ready.
Yeah. I don't know. And nothing really strategic. It's not like it was one of my lifelong bucket list items or anything. It just kind of came to be basically through that apple cider or hot cider hustle we did, that 5K.
Yeah.
It kind of
Mm-hmm.
everything's stemmed from that.
Okay.
For running specifically.
Yeah. Yep. Kenzie?
Okay,
Oh yeah.
I think that you kind of got us going again
Well, I
because you
wanted to
started
run
running.
yeah, I wanted to run the 5K and I asked you guys to run it with
You
me.
did get us started.
And I mean, now I'm the
Look at
only one
you,
not
Kay.
running. But
Look at
I don't know.
you.
But
But you
yeah,
were the
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so I have always wanted to do I've always wanted to do a marathon, and I've kind of been trying to like strategically plan it in life because it takes up a lot of time training wise. And me and mom, we go to Northwoods Church in Maple Grove, and we one of someone at our church was going to do a marathon, the Twin Cities Marathon through World Vision, which World Vision is it's a Christian organization and they do a lot of different things, but this one focuses on fundraising towards creating wells in villages that where they have to walk a certain radius of miles that inhibits daily life. So being able to build a well in a spot where, kids can just get water right away, go to school, where before they weren't able to go to school, moms weren't able to work, and it's just really increasing the quality of life, education, really does really, really great things. So, me and mom, when they were talking about it at church, we both just kind of looked at each other, we're like, we're gonna do it. So that's when we signed up to do it, and it's been really fun because we've been able to do groups. We do like a Saturday run group with the people in our church that are doing it, and sometimes we do it with bigger amounts too, and kind of connived Micah into doing it as well. And yeah, it's been really fun. But I do have a story. So this last Saturday, we ran 16 miles and we woke up extra early. We kind of did like a subgroup, and there was 9 of us, I think. We started at 6 and it rained the whole time. And Kay came and she was on a bike and had a backpack full of she had like 9 people's water bottles and different things and all our gels and everything. And she biked 20 miles going back and forth between the
Yeah.
groups that were going different paces and gave everyone their hydration and snacks. And it was the best. She was the best crew ever. And
Yeah, it
just,
was super fun and helpful.
she
Yeah.
ran with me my last mile or biked with me my last mile, biked with mom. It was super fun. Best
It
crew.
was fun. Lots of chafing happened, but it was fun.
Yeah, agreed.
No, we
Um,
got so
yeah, it was
we made
downpouring.
for chafing.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the body glide did not hold up against the weather, but that is all right. We live and we learn. Um, Mom, what about you? What made you decide now, you know?
For the marathon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had never had aspirations to do a marathon, but like Kenzie said, the World Vision thing, and we just looked at each other and we're like, okay, this is for a good cause. We might as well, let's do it. I'm hanging on by a thread to in my 40s here, so I thought I got to make a go of it now if I'm ever gonna. So yeah, and then
Like,
the fact that they're doing it too is
yeah, it's like encouraging in a way to keep training when you
yes,
have all these other people in the same boat.
yeah, for
And
sure.
you guys got quite a crew to do it with you, right? Got some friends. Kenzie, you got
Yeah,
your fiance,
We've connived a lot of people into
yeah,
this.
yeah.
which
Roped
I'm
them
like,
all in.
yeah. I mean, you're
Mm.
all crazy. Like to be like, oh, do you want to run a marathon with me? It's just such a crazy ask. And then for them to say yes, it's just wild to me. Wild. Um, so how have you guys managed like your time with like working full time, Micah having a kid, stuff like that? Like, has it been hard? What are some things that you have adjusted in your personal life, in your schedule to kind of make time for the training?
Yeah, I think that's probably the hardest part about the training, ironically, is it's not like the training itself, it's finding the time to do it because when you get further into it, if you want to do 3 or 4 runs a week and a long one, I mean, your three that you're not doing on the long day, I mean, those are probably all at least an hour long, if not an hour and a half or more. And then
Mhm.
your long one on the weekend is anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. So it's like upwards of 7 hours a week just running, and that's not either driving to the location or getting ready or cooling down or on any of that stuff. And then, okay, do I run before work? Sometimes it's feasible to do that, but like I said, if it's an hour and a half run before work, you're waking up at 4 a.m. and you're running in the dark the entire time. Or you could go to the gym and run on a treadmill for 100 minutes, but that sucks. It's so, I mean, and then also if you're working late, it gets dark so early now. So if it's a 2 hour run, you're still running in the dark. So
Yeah.
it's tricky, but that's the hardest part, I'd say.
Yeah.
But just finding times, getting a long one on the weekend is a must.
Mm-hmm.
And then trying for me to at least get a couple 6+ mile runs through the weekday is kind of what I need to do. And usually I'm able to sneak away for an hour or two to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kenzie?
Yeah, so I actually am very fortunate. I am able to right now for the next month, actually just basically right up to the race week, I have Mondays off of work, which has been super helpful. I'm also planning a wedding and moving in the process of moving twice. And so just busy. And it's been really nice to have Mondays because there is a longer midweek run, which, at first would be 4 miles, but now we're at 8, 9. I think eventually we're get hit at 10. And that takes up time. So before I was waking up before work and we were starting to have to start at like 4:45. But now on Mondays, I'm able to start at a reasonable time in the morning and do that. And then I'm able to do, the rest of my busy Monday schedule. And then I do two shorter runs. Like this week, I'm doing a 4 and a 5, and those ones I do before work. So I usually start at 5. So
Mm-hmm.
wake up at like 4:45 and start at 5. Nice thing is, mom and I, so I, yeah, we we live very close to each other, so we often run together, which is super fun. Or me and my fiance will run together too. So that makes it so much better being able to run with people too, and it like motivates you, like you have to get out of bed because someone else is getting out of bed
Mhm.
too. So
Yeah.
that's really nice. And then you feel really
Yeah.
great. You know, you start your day off feeling really good. I'm definitely really tired. Like I take sometimes for my lunch break or take a nap in my car during lunch break.
Hmm.
And then sometimes I will yeah, sometimes like this week how things turned out, I'm running a longer run in the evening, but yeah, so it's you kind of have to be creative with your time and moving things all around, typically pretty early mornings though. That
Yeah.
is, and then I'm trying to also like incorporate strength training too, which I'm not doing very good. Me and mom just started, we started it this morning, strength like series thing, but just to try to help like prevent injuries and stuff too. So,
Yeah,
Do you go
absolutely.
somewhere
so
to do that?
yeah.
Where did you
No,
guys
we're
go to do
doing
that?
like a YouTube series, the Iron
Yeah.
series on YouTube,
Okay, got it.
but just to try to like help with like, yeah, just joint and try to prevent
Mhm.
injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
It's a lot, like to be running that much plus working out. Um, Ink is just getting a lot of pets right now. I'm laughing at that. But yeah, that's a lot to maintain for your body. Plus, Kenzie, you do work a very like manual
Mm-hmm.
job as well.
Hmm.
Um, which I
I get a
think we
lot of
should,
steps in.
yeah, I think we should get into that later too. Just to kind of like talk about how you maintain energy levels and stuff. Um, but mom, how has it been time management like wise for you and everything?
My schedule is really pretty flexible, so that's easier for me. I do get up with Kenzie on the when she wants to do an early run or whatever. Um, but then I can go back to bed sometimes, like I did today
Yeah.
after our strength thing. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it in this season of life. So, but
Mhm.
I understand, the keeping that balance with, at the stage of life you guys are at. It's a lot different and it's harder to do that. You have to be really, really dedicated and want it. So
Mm-hmm. But
mm.
yeah, kudos to all of you guys for that.
Well, there's a lot of breakdowns involved, I will say.
I think yeah, that comes with a lot of things. And that's okay. Breakdowns are totally fine. What? Um, but I guess I kind of going into what you had mentioned earlier, like, well, Micah, you also work a pretty um manual labor job, energy
Oh,
sucking
well,
job.
yeah,
Um,
sometimes.
and mom, you're very active outside of just running too, always going on walks and stuff. And like, how do you guys maintain the energy level to be able to um get through your long runs, especially?
Just gotta keep eating and keep drinking electrolytes throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Being mindful about getting some good protein, um, and good carbs throughout the day, like complex carbs, and then simple carbs too, like before a run or during a run, after a run.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like the longer runs after a long day, it's just really important to be drinking a ton of water throughout the day and drinking a lot of electrolytes. And then during work, preemptively, and during the run and after, just to recover. You just really
Mm-hmm.
got to be more mindful. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
not really that much different than if you were to go on a long run. It's just you got to be mindful about your electrolytes and your hydration and making sure you get enough calories. Because on some of the longer runs, like I don't know if you guys pay attention, like last week for me, I think it said, I mean, it's all pretty, it's a little bit of guesswork from Garmin or whatever, but the estimated calories consumed during that run was like over 1,200 calories. Like
Hmm.
that's a ton of calories. So if you're
Yeah.
not compensating for that before, during, or after, you're depleting yourself of hopefully unhealthy fat, but probably not. I mean, probably some like you and you just yeah, that's the tricky part about it. It's just making sure to be consuming enough calories.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because body will draw from like what it like bodily functions. That's why like women will stop getting their period when they overexercise. Um, or and your digestion can back down. So if you're not getting the energy and calories you need from food, um, when you're doing long runs and like this, then your body kind of will take it from its functioning processes. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's not always so great, you know.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
My
Yeah.
go-to before a run is like 3 avocados worth of guac.
Holy
And then
smokes.
yeah, oh yeah. And then
Oh,
afterwards, probably 3 to 4 avocados worth of guac.
my
And then
gosh.
I dip ham and bacon in it. It's so good.
What
Wow, no kidding.
color is your shit, Mackenzie? Because I can only imagine.
$500 on green.
Yeah, honestly, life savings on green.
That's so many avocados. That's
I
so
know.
many avocados.
But
I mean,
Oh my
okay,
goodness.
if I eat like 3 avocados, at least 2 avocados the night before, my run goes great the next day. I
Huh.
just like load up on the fat.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what's the
and
protein in
also
that?
I don't
Like
think there's
per
much.
avocado.
There might not be a lot of protein,
I bet there's
but
some.
is there?
I mean,
But
vegetables
with
do.
the bacon and the ham.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
for sure.
Mhm.
I'm looking it up. How much
Okay.
protein is in an avocado?
Because our having even during
3
work,
grams of
like
protein per avocado on average.
Oh, he beat me
three
to it.
grams.
Okay.
Is that a lot?
If you're having 6 avocados, it's yeah, I guess it is. But I don't know if anybody that's ever eaten 6 avocados in a day. That's a
A
lot.
day.
Not
Yeah,
6, like 3 or 4. I have done
that's
4
still
in a
yeah,
day.
okay. That's yeah,
Mhm. Pretty
So I
easily.
mean, 12 grams of protein.
certainly
Mhm.
not protein dense, but hey, if you
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. Wow. That's a diet tip
no
that I've
kidding.
never heard before.
But
Wow.
I think like sometimes I get like low on good fats and my like especially at work if I'm feeling like really low energy or have a bunch of guac and I do feel a difference. It
Okay.
feels really good. But I do not know anything about all those things. It's just avocados make me feel better.
Yeah.
Guac makes me feel better.
Good for the soul.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, Micah, I'm curious though, going kind of back to what you were saying about like you're kind of not doing a lot of lifting anymore. What does your split currently look like?
uh, it's upper body day one, and then my second day is upper body. So I'm doing an upper body split, like a true gym bro. No, honestly though, it is with the running, it's hard. Like I was implementing some like dumbbell Bulgarian split squats because that's kind of all I had access to. I do have a gym
Mm-hmm.
membership, but that's even trickier to get away. So if I'm
Yeah.
already dedicating 3 runs that are upwards of an hour to 2 to 3 hours, it's hard for me to sneak away to the gym because now I moved. So instead of my gym being on the way home basically every day, it's now 10
Mm-hmm.
minutes in the wrong direction because of where I am with
Oh,
the Rum River. Because there's only 2 bridges. So
yep.
it's 10 minutes, so that's a 20-minute round trip, plus I got to change, so that's about 25 minutes wasted. Almost a half an
Mhm.
hour, basically, wasted. just to lift. So I'm going to be there at least 30, 45 minutes to an hour. So that's another hour and a half just for one lift. So that's
Mm-hmm.
super difficult to get away from. And then on top of that, if I'm going to do 1 to 2 lifts a week there,
Mm-hmm.
what am I going to do? I mean, is it even worth it? It's tricky. So what I did was I started getting some dumbbells, and now I actually just upgraded and got a whole. I'm starting to like make a whole home gym. So I got a
Yeah,
squat
you sent
rack.
me a picture of your setup so far.
Yeah,
It's pretty nice.
yep. I got some rubber stall mats from Fleet Farm. Put them down,
Yep.
and then I got a squat rack, a Titan X3 series squat rack, um,
Mm.
a Titan barbell, and some plates, some Olympic plates from Amazon. Um, and some other accessories and stuff, and an adjustable bench from Rep Fitness.
Yeah.
So I got
How
a whole
was
bunch of stuff now. So
yeah, you're good to go now. It's
yeah, hopefully
surprising
that'll save time.
how much you can do with so little equipment. You know what I
Definitely.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Like, because we've got about the same amount of equipment, and I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know, I can make my workout like for
Mhm.
every day, just a good
Yeah,
solid workout each day.
with the cable
With
machine and a squat rack. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Even
crazy.
even before I had that, I had a couple sets of dumbbells, like, and then I had an adjustable set of dumbbells. And
Mm-hmm.
if I would have just had a bench, I would have been basically set. But I used like
Yeah.
a Tupperware bin, and so I would use that for my bench. But I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
could do a lot. I would do body weight push-ups, like with so decline push-ups, I guess, like mechanically incline push-ups, um,
Mm-hmm.
with the way that the load is. So I would do push-ups, like a deep stretch push-up with like putting my hands on 4x4 blocks, so I could get a
Mm-hmm.
nice deep stretch and just really going slow, and then doing like different kinds of dumbbell row variations, or shoulder
Mm-hmm.
presses with the dumbbells, or tricep extensions,
Yeah.
all different kind. I mean, you can get a fantastic workout just with a cheap adjustable set of dumbbells and a bench. Upper
Mm-hmm.
body, lower body's trickier, but I mean, you can do like split squats with some heavier dumbbells, but it is hard to train your legs really hard with dumbbells, because the kind of like the limiting muscle group is like your grip then, and not exactly your legs.
Yeah.
It's hard to like
Yeah,
progressively overload your
exactly.
legs with dumbbells. But I mean, you can still do it with lunges, and maybe some straps.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why having
Definitely.
the squat rack is nice now, to be able to do that kind of stuff. But
Yeah,
it is tricky to
absolutely.
kind of figure out, for training for running. My priority is running right now. So do I want to like absolutely destroy my legs doing squats and lunges and stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
barely be able to get through a 3 mile run? And so it's hard to know,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, how do I time my lift on a day that's either not going to affect a run, or I'm already not dead from a run and need to let my legs recover and rest. That's
Mm-hmm.
the tricky part mostly about it.
Yeah,
Just because when I'm recovered and ready to go, I'd rather go on a nice run rather than train my legs lifting.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, Mom and Ken's like, what are you guys hoping your split will look like with implementing strength training into your routines as well? Like, what are you hoping to do? Like, how many days of strength a week versus running? Or has that not
Uh,
been planned out yet?
well, the Iron Series, like one day it's, legs, one day it's glutes, one day it's upper body, and one day it's full body. So then we're just gonna like incorporate it into when we can with running.
Got
Um,
it.
Mom, doesn't your
I-
plan have a dedicated cross training day that you've been ignoring?
Yep.
yes,
Are you are
very.
you are you walking back on your
It has a
skipping of the
couple.
cross training day now?
Yeah, now we're not gonna skip it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because I remember Casey giving you some grief about skipping your cross training day,
Yeah,
when he
it's
came
like
over that one day.
you're supposed to be cross training today.
That's funny.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
But I just listened to a podcast talking about how important it is to strength train while running because I mean, this is probably obvious, but it makes you a better runner because you're strong enough to like hold up yourself when you get tired. You know, like
Hmm.
if your back and core is stronger, you won't be hunched over as much when you're tired, and therefore your breathing is going to be better. Therefore, you're going to be running more efficiently. So after listening to that, like, okay, I need to get going and get stronger.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I get 1 second. Ink, stop. Go get Dad. Go
We've lost the
downstairs.
host.
Go.
Mhm.
Go get Dad. Go get Dad.
I think Ink broke out of his doggy gate.
Ink had
Yeah.
something to say.
Ah,
Um, did you guys hear him in the background?
not
A little.
really. I mean, just a
Okay.
little bit.
Um, he has been just laying on the kitchen floor crying for like the past 10 minutes, just whining. And then he
Yeah,
finally
me too.
decided to vocalize it a little louder.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I guess I was gonna, what was I gonna, oh, I was gonna ask you what do you guys use for like fuel and everything like during your runs? Like electrolytes, fuel packs, the lights, the works.
I use the honey sting gummies, and you're supposed to have like 6 of them every 45 minutes or something, but I
Okay.
have one every mile, and that works really good for like my stomach and
Hmm.
all of that. So it's totally dependent on what your stomach and all the things can do. And then I've been having, like the last long run, I had some sips from a mystery electrolyte bottle.
Yikes.
It was
What does that mean?
body armor. It was
Oh,
body
Oh.
armor.
it was? Are you sure?
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. It was body armor. It was a weird looking bottle though, because it was
Oh,
like I don't
it was like
know.
yellow
Yeah.
or orange. Yeah, but that helped a
It
lot.
wasn't just moonshine.
Correct.
It was
That's
your
good.
fiance's piss.
Oh, that's gross on a couple different levels.
Gross.
Yikes.
It was my fiance's. I was
So
like,
you
what
never
Well, I
know.
guess
happened
it's not out
in
of the
his
realm of
bottle and in the
possibility.
bag?
That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
Um,
Kay was crew for our last
Yep.
run, so I just stole his drink that he had in there, and that
mhm.
helped a lot. That was very nice. So,
Yeah.
Um, I guess that's it. I was gonna say, Kenzie, you know how they say like 6 gummies every 45 minutes? How do you like, is that really tricky to track? Is that why you decided to do the one every mile?
well, and that it was just like it's so much for my stomach too, all at once. And I think
Hmm.
I just generally, naturally, just snack little portions all day long. So having one gummy every mile, this just works with my lifestyle.
It does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It does.
It matches.
Um, it matches
Hmm.
your energy.
Yep, yep.
And
But
you
I'm
said those
still
were the honey
experimenting
sting.
with what's that?
Hmm. Oh, I was just gonna say, you said those are this honey sting gummies.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still experimenting with things too, but that's working pretty good for right now. I definitely need to have more electrolytes during the run. So I'm still like
Hmm.
figuring that out. But I think Micah has a pretty good system.
Yeah, let's hear it, man.
Uh, well, so I bring my Camelback, so it's 1.5 liter bladder, and that's just water. So I have about, and I don't drink it all usually during my long runs, but I have a 1.5 liter bladder of water on my back. And then in my chest pouch, I have like a 16-ounce plastic water bottle that I put Gatorade powder in, like pretty concentrated. So a lot of sugar, a lot of electrolytes. And I drink that for sure during the run. And then in my other pocket, I have probably about 5 of the Stinger honey, like actual honey packs. And then I'll also bring at least 2 of the Cliff Bar blocks. They're like gel blocks, so they're kind of like fruit snacks, but they're just carbs and electrolytes. So um, all of that together, so 5. So each actual honey pack is 100 calories with electrolytes. So there's 500 calories, and
Mm.
then the blocks. Every 3 of those gummies is 100 calories plus electrolytes, and I usually have 12. And so, I mean, I'm usually like on a longer run, like 12, 13 plus miles, I'm usually consuming anywhere from 700 to 1,000 calories, if not maybe a little bit more, between
Mhm.
my Gatorade, my honey packs, and my Gatorade or my Cliff Bar blocks. Um, and I just space them out. I have a tendency to eat less in the beginning, but I'm trying to remedy that, because I know that if I can get it down sooner, it can like all the carbs can get into my bloodstream quicker, and the electrolytes can get into my bloodstream. All the good stuff can get going faster, and then I'm not
Mhm.
like chasing it because I find that it's hard to catch up. Like when you start cramping or you start dying, and fatiguing really bad, it's hard to make up for that especially when you have like 5 more miles to go. So I try to stay on top of it, um, and being preemptive about the nutrition during it. And I also have been really mindful the last few really long runs is to have a lot of like healthy carbs and like complex grains, like fruits, and vegetables, and like a really healthy granola bar, whole grain granola bar before. So I eat a lot before and during. Um, Usually I'll have like 24 ounces, 20 ounces of Gatorade before, and then a couple fruits like an apple and a banana, and then a granola bar. So that's probably 500 calories or so before,
That's very
like
mindful.
immediately
Very-
before. Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys get most of your gel packs and like your little gel things at just the local grocery store or Amazon, Walmart.
I get all
Mom
mine from
found some
Amazon.
jackpots.
Okay.
Mom, where do you
Yeah,
get your stuff from?
stuff at Sierra, that those honey,
Oh,
Oh,
those stingers. Yeah, that was a pretty good
huh,
deal.
nice.
what do you use for fuel, Mom? What's your go-to?
Well, I've just been starting to use those gummy stinger things, and I was just having coconut water for electrolytes in my little pouches. I have like little bottles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
To and Micah was like, "Mom, you need to have more than this." Well, I wasn't even drinking though all of those. I wasn't drinking enough and I wasn't eating enough, I think. And so I was really tanking. Like at a mile 11, I was like,
Yeah.
I was just gone.
It's hard. It's hard
Walking.
when you're in that big of a deficit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to. My trouble is my digestion. I always worry like, well, my stomach starts hurting too if I eat too many of those gummies. So I just have to like train my stomach. And like Micah said, just keep doing a little more each run and practice on the shorter runs too.
Yeah.
Just make myself drink more and eat a little more so that I can get used to it, that I can build it up for the longer race.
Mhm.
Because there's a whole like art to fueling and stuff, so that because if you do too much, will you just like F up your stomach and like kind of get the shits or
That's what I worry about. I don't want that
yeah.
to
That's
happen.
what I'd be scared about. Because I mean, I was seeing like on my feed, I think it was on Facebook actually, like those reels, like all these marathon runners being like, the truth about running a marathon is that you usually finish with poop in your pants. And
Thanks.
that's horrifying.
I'm not committed to my time enough to not stop at a bathroom.
Okay. So they're
Mhm.
probably
Yeah,
just those
same.
crazy
Yeah.
runners who are trying to like PR every single time and just power through.
Yeah, but
Okay,
what
okay.
Or sometimes accidents do truly happen. But
Yeah. Well, mom,
Yeah.
I just said, what if there's not a bathroom when you need it? Like, there's not, you don't always
True.
have.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
That's where those accidents do truly happen.
Yeah, yikes. Yeah, and
So maybe it's
when you're
not
running
that
and you need to
unheard of.
go, yeah, yeah, when you're running and you need to go poop, it's usually not like oh, I'll go when I can. It's like
It's
I need to
gotta,
go now,
Never
or
just a fart.
whoops, it already happened. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
don't just
very, you can't stop. It's very urgent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I guess, do you guys have any like tips or advice that helped you kind of get started, or like that you have learned along the way that you wished you knew at the beginning of kind of just your running journey in general?
I
I
don't have
really
like,
like
oh,
following the
sorry,
plan.
mom, go ahead.
I've like World Vision gave us a plan, and it started out with like first the 8 weeks of just foundation. It's basically like couch to 5K. And
Mhm.
then after that, just it just, gradually builds. And that's been nice just to follow that. Go ahead, Ken.
Mhm. Yeah, and I just like it's an enjoyable thing. It's really fun to do it with people. Like Saturday was super fun. I took a lot of naps when I got home though, I will say.
I was very
But
jealous.
yeah, I took 3 naps. Um, but one thing that I am super blessed that all of us kids are super blessed is that our parents are both really active. And it's a combination of many things. Like we have really young parents and parents that really care about their health and just a lot of fortunate circumstances. But like both my parents ran the 16 miles on Saturday and that was so much fun. To be able to run that with them, I've done halves with my both my parents before, and that's just like it's such a blessing to be able to, yeah, it's just like, it's the coolest thing to be able to be like, yeah, I'm running a marathon with my mom. Like,
Hmm.
not many people get to say that for many different reasons.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm really blessed to be able to do that and to train with my mom and live so close. It's really fun. It's not, I'm very impressed with the people who are dedicated and do all the training by themselves. I'm very impressed with the dedication and it's a different level of dedication that I have. Like it's a lot easier to be able to run with people and train with people. So that's just one thing that's really fun. So I guess my piece of advice is if you have people who you can connive into running a marathon with you, connive them.
Lots of conniving.
I
Yeah.
think
Word of
I
the
think
app.
run yeah. I think training for a marathon, regardless if you have people around you or not, is very impressive either way. And I do back Kenzie up with to having active parents has just been
Mhm.
just really just a fun and cool
Mhm.
thing. Just growing up and like now being an adult and doing activities and stuff and now seeing mom and dad as grandparents, and being able to just like they're gonna be growing up playing with their grandkids,
Mhm.
too. It's like it's not a very common thing, again, for
Mhm.
many reasons. It could be a health thing holding people back, but yeah, very blessed to have that. But
Mhm.
Micah, do you have any advice?
Yeah, I always hated running. And I think, well, no, I did. I always hated it. That's why I never really did it like consistently. Like we would always pick up running for a few weeks or a month here and there when we were kids and get good at it and then stop. I think like the biggest thing for me realizing last fall is halfway through the training for the 5K, I came to a realization, and honestly, I think it was probably after the 5K, but if something isn't fun, you're not going to stick to it unless you're really like unreal human determination kind of a person. But if you don't enjoy something or you hate something or dread something, the likelihood of you being able to be consistent with that thing is pretty low, like naturally pretty low. And that's how it was for me. So finding a way to train that you don't hate it, whether that's slowing down or like Mackenzie said, training with a friend or finding a group of people or some kind of play, finding a way where you don't hate your training. And for me, it was just slowing down. Like and there's been so much exercise science about the benefits of long distance training at a lower heart rate consistently rather than giving it 95% effort the entire time. But that's how I would run all of the time, was just heart rate at 175, 180, 185 the whole time. Granted, it was only usually 5, 6 mile runs, but still, it's so difficult. And I wasn't going that fast because I wasn't that trained. And another thing is like what mom was talking about, having a good plan and not trying to go win it all back or get it all in a day or a week or a month and be ready. And like, and that goes for, I think that goes for dieting, that goes for strength training, and that can go for cardio. And I think they kind of go hand in hand, the first thing that I was talking about and the second thing, where like if you try to win it all back, it's not a sustainable path. Like you're going to be running too hard and hurt yourself, or you're going to be dieting so severely where you're going to be in such a calorie deficit where you're starving yourself and it's absolutely miserable. And as soon as you're done with the weight loss, you go back to your old diet because that sucked, or the training, the long distance training, or the working out. Like so many people start lifting weights and they're like, yeah, I'm in the gym 2 hours a day. Like, how is that going to be sustainable? Like, yeah, it's fun and you're on fire for about a month, and then yeah, psyching yourself out to go sit in the gym for 2 hours is really difficult. So if you can find a way to make it a 40-minute workout or a 35-minute workout and still get a lot done, or make it a 30-minute run rather than an hour run and still get a lot done and you're somewhat consistent with it, is so much more important than maybe optimizing somehow, or I don't know, getting that last little bit of effort. It's just, if you, the biggest thing is consistency with any kind of training. And if
Mhm.
you can find a way where you can make it consistent for yourself, or make it easier for you to be consistent, ultimately you have to go do it. You still have to go do the work. But if you can somehow find a modality or find some kind of system where it's fun and it's not too much of a chore to do, it's going to be so much easier to stick with it. And I think that was a big key for me running this time, is being scolded by some friends like David Gurnitz, who runs ultra marathons. Like, why are you? I would send him my running stats, and every single time he would just say, "You need to slow down." And I'm like, "What? My pace was 9:30. That's not that fast." He's like, "Look at your heart rate." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess it is 177 on average." Like he's like,
Mhm.
"Slow down. You shouldn't be above 145, 150 on average." I'm like, "All right, fair enough." And every once in a while, having a hard run is good. But for a lot of the running, you shouldn't be running super, super hard because you're gonna burn yourself out.
Right.
But that's
That's
those two things are the biggest things I think for me.
yeah, that's good. Yeah. Do you guys
Those-
have anything? Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying those are really good tips. Like
Mhm.
the marathon with the longer distance, the sustainability is key.
Mhm.
Like I used to think too, like pushing hard, like that's running. But the people we train with are like, you want to be able to keep a conversation, because if you can keep a conversation, you can keep running,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
So,
Or as
Yes.
David Grunitz always tells me too along those lines, when you stop eating, you stop running.
Yeah.
So for his ultras, he would have these aid stations and he would be eating cheeseburgers, pizza, Coca-Cola. And he's like, well, if you're done eating, you're done running. And I mean, he ran 100 kilometers that way. So, but it is
wow.
true. Like, you need to
Yeah,
do something that's sustainable, because if you're going to be running that long, you need to be able to consume enough calories to overcome that deficit.
for sure. Absolutely. Do any of you guys have any like parting thoughts, tips, anything you wanna shout outs? Any brands you've liked in particular? It's okay
I
if you
think
Like,
don't.
Stinger Honey's gotten a nice shout out, huh?
yeah,
I
right.
From
think they
Yeah.
have. Sponsor us.
hey, somebody
Yeah.
at them.
Garmin for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Carmen should
yeah.
pay you. You should be a, you
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot.
I think I did a whole episode about Garmin one time.
Yeah.
About all the challenges and
Yeah,
points
yeah.
Yep,
and leadership
yep.
boards. Oh yeah.
Yeah, which
Kenz, have you
Kenzie
ever lost a
always
week of the
wins.
steps?
Yes, Dad won last week. I'm still so upset about that. But
How
on
do you? He
Sunday,
was
every
so
single
far
step
behind.
was painful.
Oh,
What?
he was so far behind on Saturday. How do you do that?
The
No,
run.
we were neck and neck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's moving all week too.
Um,
Yep.
So on Garmin, there's like the weekly leaderboard thing where you can see all your connection steps and stuff, and Kenzie's always trumped by, you know, a lot of thousands of steps a
I
week.
have a physical
But
job.
yeah, now that it's close between, I mean, Kenzie still usually wins, but it's close between mom, dad, Micah, and Kenzie now with their marathon training. But
Mhm.
yeah, they're all well, Kenzie is very competitive about it.
Yes. Sometimes I go on walks to get ahead.
yeah, totally.
A
Mom's
bit of
competitive too. She at 11:30 at night was running on the treadmill to beat me.
I did
Did
it
Mom,
you?
too.
that's sick.
She did win. She beat me by 300 points. 300 steps.
That's funny.
That's just cruel. Yeah, so for me on what does it end on Sunday? Is that when it reset? Sunday's the
Sunday
last
night.
day. Yeah. I
Mhm.
always look on Saturday like maybe, and then I open it up, I'm like, oh. I mean, and I'm not even close ever. Even if I think I have a great week, I'm still like 40,000 steps behind by the end of the week.
Yeah,
Oh well.
I
It's
get
not
my
meant to be.
10,000 steps in a day, and I'm like, okay, we're good. You can sit down now.
Yeah, and I get 10,000 steps in by lunch day, and it's still not even going to be close.
Yeah, I had 12,000 by like 2 because work was just hellion today.
Hey, you guys
But
Hey,
are ahead of
I'm
me.
leading today. I'm leading this week.
Yeah,
Wow.
because
Not
the
for long.
softball games, Micah.
Oh yeah, that's
I know, I
right.
was like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's
But
right.
don't worry, I have an 8-mile run tomorrow.
Maybe I'll have a 9 mile run tomorrow.
Hmm.
8 and a quarter.
healthy competition, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
but I suppose we can wrap this up. Thank you guys all for joining, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right, well, we should do another episode after the marathon to just kind of update on how it went and everything if you guys want. Um, but yeah, well, ta-ta for now, everyone.
Ta ta.
Bye.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah. See you later. Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.